What makes a house feel like home? Hi, I'm Jane Kudos Buyer, and welcome to the People You Meet in Old Town podcast, a podcast about the fascinating people of Old Town Alexandria. For Amanda Mertins, the answer has never been about beautiful furniture or paint colors. It's about storytelling, emotion, and creating spaces that make people feel something the moment they walk into the door. Amanda is the co-owner of a fabulous home goods and interior design shop here in Old Town, Patina Polished Living. We talk about the path that led her to interior design, her signature aesthetic, and why so many people walk into Patina wanting to immediately redesign their homes, myself included. So with that, let's welcome Amanda to the podcast. Amanda, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here.
And I always see at your wonderful, beautiful store, Patina's, and so many people know you from that store and meeting you at the store, but also inviting you to decorate their home. You have such a gifted eye for all things design. I'm always coming into your store to get design ideas for my home. Also, your fabulous style, like your personal style and how you dress is always on point. I'm so happy you took the time to have a chat. So maybe we'll start from the beginning. I'd love to learn about your background and how you got into design. Were you always pursuing design, or is that something that you picked up later in life?
It goes way back to when I was a little girl, and I would say in elementary school. My parents, if they would have a dinner party, my mother is actually an amazing, I would say, chef / cook, but really chef. She's not just a cook. And so she was busy doing the cooking, and I was the one in elementary school setting the table, picking out the napkins, making the floral arrangements, and I did this at a very young age, and I did it all the time. So I was already in the process. It was just in me to want to do it. And I was already in the process of when I would do it. And if I did, I don't like the way these flowers look, and I would change them. So I always tell people, I said, it's so difficult to do flowers, but with anything, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And considering the fact that I started back in elementary school, I've had a lot of practice. It also advanced from there at the ripe old age of being in junior high and high school that I was actually going to my mother's friends' homes because I was always moving furniture around in my parents' house. And in my own little teeny tiny bedroom that I had canopy, full-size bed, a chest of drawers, a night table, and a little tiny desk. And you have no idea how many ways I configured that in that little room. So why was I doing that? It was because I liked it and I was passionate about it and it was easy for me. And I did it in their house, our family home, and then I was going to her friends' homes to do it. I was like a kid, but they were like, wow, you're really good at this. So I just thought it was something a lot of people have said, why didn't you study design at the university level? And instead, I got a degree in economics. And that actually has really come into play with this business.
Sure, because you have the business side too.
Exactly, right. Exactly. Because to me, what I did design-wise and flowers and all that in everyone's homes at a young age, the thought, why would I go to school? I just did it already so much. And my business partner, Kim, has her degree in graphic design. So you're seeing now the two of us come together and we're the yin and yang of design, and we work so well together. And so I've got the business aspect along with all the years and time of doing that. And she has the graphic design. So everything that we produce, our cards, anything we do online, our email blasts and everything is all done by us. And she's the one who can do the mechanics of it, obviously, with her design background. And I'm like editing things, and it's a great coupling.
That's awesome. Yes, you guys complement each other really well.
So then it got to a point when we actually were working for a local floral shop for a while. This was when my youngest son was in high school, and she and I were doing that together. And for different reasons, we probably did it 2-3 years. We had to stop. And we always talked about, oh, we should have our own store. And at one point, my husband said, you keep talking about that. Are you going to wait until you're like 79 to do it? And we laughed and we thought, well, maybe we should do it. So that's what led to Patina. The store started in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going on how many years? 14?
Yeah.
15? Yeah. I'm trying to do the math quick. I don't pay attention to that so much.
14 years, right?
Yeah. So when we first got together, it was in the summer, and we actually had a third person with us, Scott Marchand, who sadly has passed away. He had Marchand Flowers here in Old Town. And we sat together during the summer and talked about branding ourselves and who we wanted to be and what we wanted to be. And we designed our cards, which remain the same to this day because we put a lot of thought into it. And yeah, it was just the three of us who started in our original location on Franklin Street.
Okay.
And yeah, Scott was there every day. And we did actually do fresh flowers when we first started. We had a floral cooler and everything.
How cool.
Well, through the years, you learn things and you change things up. But it was really a lot of fun. And he was fun. So we truly miss him. I think a lot of people will recognize his name. And if they do and they think about him, that's good.
Oh,
They'll know that we're thinking about him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you for sharing that story of how you guys got started. It's always unnerving to start your own business and take that leap of faith. And it's so nice that your husband was so supportive, and he also had great partners to take that plunge with.
You're saying these two words, leap and plunge, because starting your own business and in retail, I think retail, you can ask any of the
It's hard
here. It is tough. And I think on the surface, everyone thinks it's so glamorous and just la-di-da and so much fun and so easy. It is easy. Our passion makes that aspect of it easy for us, since that we love design. And so when you are passionate about something, it makes your job very easy. But basically, when we decided to do it, you hold your nose, you jump into the deepest end of the pool or water, and that's it. Because unless you have been in that industry and worked maybe under someone, you really have no idea. And you can read all about it and, oh yeah, but until you start doing it yourself, you take that plunge, that leap into the deep end, then you start to learn what it's about. And there were things that surprise you. Someone said after we'd been in business a couple of years, it really takes about 5 years before you're going to see any sort of a profit. And I remember my head whipping around.
I'm like that.
Wait, what?
That's not a good thing for me to hear.
Know that or hear about that. So again, it all comes down to the passion, though, for what we do, that each step along the way, anything that, comes up, and you learn.
So you have the retail aspect, but then you also design. Then do you renovate homes? Do you build homes? Like, where do you come in?
Yeah,
the process?
We're coming in. We're not architects. We're happy to work with an architect if the homeowner says, "Oh, I really have these ideas, but I can't seem to figure it out with the architect." We're more than happy to talk about that with the architect. We are more so coming in a lot of times to edit someone's home. People will go through Patina and then get in touch with us for design and say, I'm really having a tough time in my family room, and it's just not quite right. Can you help me with that? And the answer is yes, of course we can. So I think our superpower actually is going into people's homes, and everything is pretty good, but like the family room isn't working well for them. And then usually that segues into the more you start talking, there's A, B, C, D, E, and F. And we are very good at editing out or moving things around. We always let people know that we want a tour of the whole house, condo, whatever it may be, because we want to see everything they have.
And
a lot of times there's an amazing, beautiful chest up in the corner in a guest room or a corner somewhere down in the lower level. And I'll look at it, we'll go through the whole thing, and then we'll come back down, we'll start chatting. And I'm like, that little chest that was up in the guest room. Because it's almost like I'm taking mental photos as I go through the property, the home. I like, that should be front and center in your foyer when you walk in. They're like, I always wondered what I should do with that. And they're like, I never thought of doing that. And a lot of times Kim and I will just carry it down the steps and set it there and say, look how great it looks there. And it sometimes is in the sense of editing that sometimes things if people collect, and when you live in the space, you don't notice all of a sudden, oh, maybe I have too many items on that table, or like, oh, yikes, look at those bookshelves. They could use a little zhuzhing or help. And so we really like doing that. Obviously, while we're there, sometimes someone needs a rug for their dining space, or they can't stand the sofa they have anymore. Or sometimes they'll have a chair that they got from Aunt Sue or something, and if it's a couple, they might say, this chair, it was from a relative, but we can't stand it.
And you give them the permission to get rid of it?
Exactly. Exactly. And I'll look at it and it's like a burr in your saddle, like a pebble.
It's okay. You're still a good person if you get rid of it.
And I'm like,
you're not hurting.
Someone else in the family wants it, start there. You can try and sell it if you want. If not, donate it somewhere. Someone will be thrilled to buy it at probably a great price. And Aunt Sue's chair will live on. And they're like, oh, thank you. I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, let's put it in the garage right now so you don't have to look at it anymore. And it's like this release. They're so happy that, okay, good. Now let's get another chair. And I understand though, because family items you do feel like you shouldn't be doing it. Like you're insulting or you're getting rid of the memory of that person. No, Aunt Sue or Grandma Jane will live on.
Don't worry through this chair.
Yes, exactly. So that we really like doing. But I enjoy going in and seeing what people have in their house. Things, sometimes you're on a trip and you're maybe in a really interesting place and you get a piece of art and you remember that trip from that. Things that are collected in your life that you might have had maybe before you got married, and you put it all together. I think that tells our story. And don't get me wrong, if we go into someone's home and they're like, all right, I want it all gone, or we go in and it's empty and new, and we do it that way. Oh, sure, we're more than happy to order away for you and get you the chairs and the table and the dining room and the on and on. But we do have a lot of fun working with what people have because I think it's important to them. It's a part of who they are.
Sure. I remember my husband and I were selling our house in New Jersey, and his mom gifted us this beautiful Ottoman coffee table. And the people that wanted to buy our house wanted this coffee table to convey. And Amanda, I was so offended. I was just like, there's no way these people want everything. I was just really mad at these buyers. And ultimately the deal didn't go through because they're after my beloved piece of furniture.
They're after my thing.
They're after my things. And on the one hand, it's flattering. On the other hand, I was like, back off, buyers.
They should just take the no. Respond and say, oh, no, this is a family heirloom, and be like, oh, good for you. You have a beautiful family heirloom. Not keep at you to get it.
So when you walk into your store, may I ask what your favorite room in your store is? And I say room because for those that haven't been in the store, it's a proper house with a backyard.
It is.
And a kitchen.
Yeah, it's a property, historical home, circa 1785.
Oh, I did not know that. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, and it is zoned actually residential and commercial. And so people have lived there as a home. And so the fact that it is Kim and my store, the whole store is my favorite.
It's your
place.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily one room that is my favorite. Although sometimes you'd be like, oh, wow, look how good this room looks now because we've maybe sold some things. That's the other thing. It's a constant
evolution.
And everyone says, oh, gosh, it just looks so great. You change it up. And I'm like, the good news is we've sold some things. And we do. But because we buy, when Kim and I buy, whether it's vintage or the new items and art, decor, the furniture, we are buying things, obviously, that we like and we're interested. And I think we do have a look. Most designers who are exclusively doing design, who don't have a brick and mortar, they do have a look. And when you hire a designer, you are hiring them because you like that look. And that's what you can expect. We will go down any road with someone. If someone says, I want it to look, I like a lot of metal and glass, and I want a very sort of club atmosphere in my living room and bar area, well, we'll do it if that's what you want. We're happy to facilitate.
So you can really stretch in different ways.
If someone wants something a certain way, but for the most part, when someone hires us, they're hiring us because they like what they see in the store. And they're getting a real feel for it because they're going through like a garden room, they're seeing a main room. We have, quote unquote, a bedroom now. So they just look and they're like, all right, I just want my living room to look like this. Okay, you need to come and do this in my living room. We're like, okay, we can do
Got it.
Yeah. So all the rooms are really favorites for different reasons.
So
It's like when you have a lot of children.
yeah, you can't pick your favorite child.
You don't have a favorite. You love and adore each of them for who they are and different reasons, their personality. So it's loving each of our different rooms because of their personality and how they present themselves.
Each room is more beautiful than the next, but my favorite is the blue room. I love the blue room. My husband loves the blue room. Yes. We're always coming in. Oh man, this room is so good. And I also love your kitchen.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the kitchen, we didn't really do, other than what is in the kitchen. The kitchen was done like that.
It's awesome.
There, yeah. And the blue room, I have a feeling we single-handedly spiked Benjamin Moore's sale of Pale Navy.
Pale Navy. A friend of mine has it in her bedroom.
Yes, the color. So many people have asked us. And so, yeah, I think the Benjamin Moore,
the color, Pale Navy. Yes, it's quite popular.
That along with, so one thing that Kim and I really like, people will ask us, they're like, paint color, I can't do it. Can you help me with that? And whether they're building a new house or they want to repaint, and they're going through this traumatic experience because they're like, I don't know what color to paint that room, and the contractor is driving me crazy, and the painters want to know. And we always say, okay, let's make your life easy. Softer tan is the color that we have throughout Patina. It's the color I have throughout my house. It's the color that a lot of people now have in their homes because we've recommended it. Used to be owned by Grunt. It's now Sherwin-Williams.
Okay.
And it is a creamy beige color. That is a color, non-color. And doing it with white trim, it's just such an easy thing because it accepts any color with it, like the blue in your wallpaper or red or purple or coral, greens, anything. All those colors just look good with it. So
softer tan.
Will look good with it. And that's the thing, especially when you're doing a new build, that they want to know, Jane, what colors do you want in the living room and the dining room and everything else? And that's when people start to hyperventilate, like, I don't know what color I want my sensory to be and all this other stuff. And that's where I say, okay, make this easy on yourself. Tell them softer tan throughout the whole house, white trim. And then once you're in and things are quiet, then maybe the study you have in the corner, then you pick a color and then they come in and they do that. But there's so many decisions that need to be made when you are building a home or redoing a home and all of that. Let's take some of the agony out of it. So that is one thing that we always promote.
That's a great tip for the listeners.
Color too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that really is just great.
That's a really good tip. Thank you for that. So what are some of your favorite bits of running a store? I know you're running it with a friend of yours, and I know some of your family has worked in your store on occasion.
Yeah, and interesting the word you say, friend. I think this is a real testament to how well Kim and I work together because now we are going on 15 years. There are a lot of friendships who went into business and don't last because of it. It can be trying at times. And I think because we are so different personality-wise, opposites attract in that sense. So you have your own marriage and then you have your work marriage. Because in the beginning, when we first started, we were together, we were there all the time. We're still there a lot. There'll be times that we close at 5 and my husband will call me like, are you coming home for dinner? It'll be like 6:30 going on 7 and I don't even realize it because Kim and I are talking about maybe a couple design clients doing something. So that is a testament to the fact that we just work well together, and I trust her completely. She trusts me in every sense of the word, and it's made it really easy. So again, the question now, I think I jumped off.
The question, no, but I think that's a beautiful thing that you have such a great working relationship, because you're right. You can't work with every single friend you have.
Yeah.
And so it's great that your personalities are so complementary in business sense, but also that you get on so great. So that's awesome that you found a partner like that. But my question is, what is your favorite part of running the store besides working with your friend?
Okay. Favorite parts when it comes to design clients and customers, it's basically the same thing, just on different levels. I love being down on the floor. Unfortunately, a lot of times, Kim is usually upstairs. She's a lot of times checking on inventory and doing all that, and she prefers to be upstairs. And that's great, because I'm the person who likes to be downstairs, obviously, and talk like I'm doing now. But I am also upstairs a lot of times. People will come in and they're like, I was here, I don't see you anymore there. I'm like, ask if I'm there, because I might be upstairs. The other thing about the business is you're constantly ordering. You're getting emails. And so there's the business aspect of it that you have to be doing that. And it takes up a lot of the day. But the most rewarding part of it all is working with the customers, whether it's someone just coming in the store and walking and say, oh my gosh, I'm meeting my best friend for lunch and I want to get her something special, or someone's coming in looking for a birthday present, or whatever the case may be. And all it takes, I can only speak for myself, and I've tried to pass it on to our staff, is ask some questions, get to know a little bit about the person who's going to receive the gift. And once I'm like, oh, okay, great. So what were you thinking maybe of getting the person? And they'll say it, and then my brain starts going, I start going through the rooms and the whole store, and I ask some specific questions, and usually I can just say, all right, I'm going to show you like 3 things, and I think one of them will be great. So I'll let you pick out. And when they finally like, oh, thank you so much, this is perfect. It's just, it's like this joy. It's happiness for them. And ultimately, like, retail joy for me, because yay, we succeeded. And as far as design clients, that's where it's more personal. You are in someone's home. And we always talk to our design clients that this is your sanctuary. This is like your safe place when you come home, whether or not, you're single or with someone or you have children. This is it. This is home. And we talk about 2 things really, like your bedroom, your mattress should be excellent, especially with younger people who are looking to work with the budget. There are 2 things you should spend your money on. Your mattress, hopefully we're at least in it 6 to 7 hours.
That's right.
Day, hopefully.
And sleep is so important for all the things.
Yes. It makes it
for weight loss, for
everything.
Everything.
So your mattress, spend some money on that, and spend some money on the sofa that you're going to be using the most. Do not buy a sofa online and have it delivered and you've never sat in it before or know what it's about. And your mattress, those are 2 big investments, but they are worthy investments, and that's where money should be.
That's good advice.
You can put off other things, but make sure those 2 things are good ones. So that being said, when we work with clients and we have installation day, and that's when all of the furniture that we've ordered together with them, and the artwork and lamps and maybe accessories that the fun, like the icing on the cake that you're putting around, I try to get the clients to not be at home. It's just much easier to work that way. Or even when we're in there, if we're editing a home, it's much better if they go, because they want to watch. It's almost like if you're a painter and you've got someone looking
like on over your shoulder, right?
And like, why are you putting yellow there? What you put yellow? It like stymies you, and it halts the creative process. Sure. So it's the same thing with editing. If we do help someone with a bookcase, we take everything out and we redo it. And they're like, just go have coffee somewhere or something. But it stops the creative process. So on the day that all the things are coming in, we've got our wonderful, my youngest son actually started his own logistics company.
How about that? Very cool. Congrats.
He went to High Point University, graduated High Point University, and graduated during COVID. So that really just work-wise, it was just like a black hole. There was nothing to do and no one could work or do anything. And I mentioned to him that we really were lacking receivers in the area. And there are a lot of designers here who don't have a brick and mortar. They're working out of their homes or a little office. And when they order things for clients, the pieces have to be received somewhere because normally huge trucks are not delivering to suburban areas. And so he thought about it, started going. So now he's doing it. He's got
Very
lots
cool.
of clients. And so that is a big help. And he used to at High Point University, they're in High Point, North Carolina, which is where Kim and I are headed next week.
And it's also the furniture capital of the U.S.
Of the world.
Of the world, is it? Okay.
Yes, it's of the world. So they would hire the college students to come and work the market with them. So he did that 2-3 years. So he had a feel for that. And so it's really just come together. And how fun for someone in their 20s to own their own business.
Absolutely.
Company.
Like another brave member of the family.
Another brave member powering through. So we obviously use them exclusively, Monogram Logistics, to come in. So on installation day for these design clients, we're doing it and they're doing all the heavy work for us. And when it's all finished and the client comes back in, they're like stunned and they just can't believe it. And they're just so emotional and somehow get tears in their eyes.
It's like when you watch Home Makeover, right? And when these people like see their homes, that's what I think of as you're telling the story. Because these people are like, oh, I can't believe this is where I get to live. And it's just so gorgeous. And you've reimagined the space in all these beautiful ways.
That, as far as you're asking, like the most
your favorite
thing or the favorite thing, that is it, because there is such a sense of pride for us that we have made someone's home where they live so wonderful for them. We did, I think only one time there was a client and we were in their house all day long. They both worked. They were out of the house and we were moving huge pieces of art. And we did all this ourselves and left it. And I set things up in the kitchen with wine bottles and glasses and the whole thing. I think I redid the kitchen cabinets because when you have glass kitchen cabinets, what's behind the glass has to look right. And oh my gosh, she got in touch with us and said, we walked in. She said, I felt like I was like on HGTV and there were secret cameras somewhere and they were getting our response. And she had a dinner party that weekend with a lot of dear friends who knew their place. And from that dinner party alone, we got 3 calls wanting to hire us because they had seen the before and after in this home that we had done. And again, that's the favorite part of it. Like, it's so wonderfully emotional in such an amazing way. For all parties concerned, but Kim and I are always just, wow, that felt so great.
That's fun. One thing I'll say is you guys do, besides having a beautiful store, you guys do a really nice job with your social media. And I love following your Instagram always, but especially when you go and source things from, what is it called? The market?
Yes.
And that's so fun to follow along, like your trips and like seeing all the things you're seeing and designers you're checking out.
Yes. Yes. It is fun. It is. We have a combination of vintage and new. Sort of our look is what we do. We love mixing the old and the new together. And so it's a matter of also chasing things down at estates. But a lot of people like that. So it's quite competitive. We haven't done it. I don't know. Everything's just been so busy and you have life and all going on. But the dream is to fill a container from Europe and bring it back. I don't know if that's going to happen.
That would be fabulous.
Maybe. Yes, it would. It would be a lot of
That'd be so fabulous. Because, right, when a lot of people travel, they'll go and ship china back from
Well,
Italy and
beautiful pieces.
or the antique pieces. Yeah. My mother-in-law has done that with china, for example, from Italy and so forth.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. +1 to that idea.
Yes, it would be great, but we'll see. We'll see if we can make that happen.
And there are also a lot of really good estate sales in the area.
Yes, we have a lot of people who deal with estates who are in touch with us because we're good customers.
Sure, you'll come in and you'll you have a whole house to fill after all.
Exactly. We've gone out of state to places. And but it's fun. That is fun. It is work. It's a lot of work. And a lot of times if we're outside doing things, even like now in High Point, it's either extremely hot. So you're hot and sweaty but you know what? You power through because it's your job. Or we have the days where it's freezing cold and it's raining at the same time. You have to be out. You have to be waiting in a line to get in somewhere, but we do it.
Very cool. Okay. So we talked about your favorite parts of the business. What's the grunt work like? What are your least favorite parts of running a shop?
Yeah, there are all these little things that you don't even think about when you get into it. I'll start, first of all, with Patina, the building itself, given the fact that it is such an old home. As anyone who lives in older homes in Old Town knows, there's always going to be some little things going on, and the HVAC type thing, the wall because a lot of the walls in our building are like that plaster. They're not drywall.
Okay.
There are some where things were added on, but then when you notice like paint's bubbling on some wall because water's getting...
Yeah, I have it in my basement. I'm very familiar with that issue.
Yes. So things like that. So not only are you running a business, but you're also you're doing like house stuff with it. One thing that I think people probably don't realize is we have all these items in the store, and you walk around and you see there's just lots and lots. So these things all get delivered to us. I think people would be very surprised to know how much arrives broken and busted. And so that is another little layer of
lots of admin work
involved for us, because you've got to photograph it. A lot of times there's just broken glass and everything. You've got to photograph it, submit the claim. So that is, a lot of times it seems like it's almost daily, sometimes with little things, sometimes with big things. Sometimes things come in that were special ordered for a customer and they're broken, and you just do not want to.
And that delays the process for the customer too.
Yes,
right.
And not because of us. We did our part. We found it, we ordered it, and now it arrives broken. And great.
And so there's
that dance with trying to explain. And I understand it because we all have been there waiting, and you can't hardly stand. You're just dying to get that fountain for the garden or whatever. And you found out that it arrived like in half.
Yeah.
And so I understand it. I like to commiserate with the customer. And of course, you talk it down and they know that you didn't want it broken. So, so we try to get that taken care of as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So those are the things that are, but it is a part of retail business.
Sure. That's so cool. I want to pivot a little bit for a moment to your family, Amanda. You mentioned you're one son, but you have 5 sons.
Correct.
So you have a big family and lots of grandchildren too.
Yes.
Are they constantly hitting you up for design advice? Are you on their speed dial? I'm sure you're on their speed dial, but are they constantly calling you about design and making sure their space is beautiful?
Yeah, not constantly calling me, but yes, when I've been asked, I am who would I want to do it more for than
your kids. Sure. Yeah.
Kids. And so that is really fun. And if they ask me, I am immediately available for them. And we actually have passed a lot of things to them that were either my husband's parents or were in my family. So I like disseminating all of that because it means something. It is part of your family. And I'm always ready. Whatever they need, whatever they want, I'm ready to help. And all of my daughter-in-laws have lovely design capabilities themselves. So sometimes it's just talking about it together, and any way that I can help them and order something for them, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Doing it. And all of my sons are also, I would say, creative, and they have an interest in it as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
They're their mother's sons.
Yes, that's nice.
In parallel, my mother-in-law, Cindy, she's an interior designer. And so my husband grew up with a mother who's very into design. And so he's very into seasonal decor. And I always say, you're your mother's son, right? Because he loves like a pretty home, and we're very into decorating together and so forth. So it's a lot of fun.
That's fun. That is fun. A lot of times with couples, it's interesting because sometimes it's the guy driving it more and he's the
I
one.
was surprised to hear that.
Yeah, we have had some instances where it's the man driving the whole design process and the wife is just, we had very early on, we had a gentleman come in and we had a whole living area set up, soup to nuts, sofa, end tables, lamps, the rug, the coffee table, occasional chairs, lots of stuff. And it was a big thrill for us. He walked in and he said, I want to buy this whole room as you're showing it. And we're like, okay.
Copy paste.
Yeah, it was pretty early on in our career. So that was just like, yes.
But that's such validation for your design and for your eye.
It was him. And then when we did the whole installation, his wife was upstairs. It was like completely going to be just a presentation to her. So he did everything with it.
How fun.
And he even said, we had a throw, we had this, that, and the other. And we were like, you don't have to get the throw. And he goes, I want it just as I'm seeing it. And we're like, okay. So that was thrilling for us early on. Maybe we're halfway good at this.
That's fun. That's really fun. And the other point you made is about being a thought partner to your daughters-in-law. And my mother-in-law, Cindy, is definitely a thought partner for me. Like, we're trying to redesign our kitchen. So she came in and she's like, all right, let's rejigger things. And so she had her pen and paper out and like drawing up the blueprint and measuring with her measuring tape. And so it's nice to have just, again, like a thought partner and somebody with...
There's such trust there because it's your mother-in-law. And it's so nice being that it is your mother-in-law that you have that great relationship. It's wonderful. And she wants just the best for you and her son, obviously, and her grandkids. So
absolutely.
That's a real plus.
But also a lot of our furniture, like you said, you've given some pieces to your kids. So actually the chairs we're sitting on are Cindy's chairs, and this table is her table. So we've inherited a lot of...
Yeah.
Thank you. And this is hers, yes, and the Victrola. So we've inherited a lot of her furniture and art. And so I always joke that my husband came with a dowry.
That's good.
No, totally right. And but it's been fun to have her furniture. And often people will come into our house and like, she got some grown-up furniture. Now we're a little bit older, but Chris and I have been together for 10 years. And so when we moved in together, people would come in and we were in our early 30s and they would go, where'd you guys get all this furniture? Wow. And so we're like, we've inherited a lot of it.
But that is actually a good thing to note for younger people. Don't just keep spending money on throwaway furniture.
Sure, because
do without maybe a couple
invest a little bit more.
Get a couple that you spend a little bit more money on. Obviously where the budget allows, but it is something, because really you call it throwaway furniture because it doesn't last. And so that is something to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't ever turn down when you're being offered something. If it's decent, just say, no, don't want that. Yeah, you might want to take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. This has been such a fun conversation. I like to talk about to do a lightning round with my guests, because after all, this podcast is about Old Town. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite Old Town Alexandria coffee shop?
It's our house. My husband and I love our coffee. We don't really go out and buy coffee anywhere. Yeah. Our house. Come on by. No, it's just a Colombian coffee that we grind and do the drip coffee.
Cool. Okay.
And everyone's welcome to come by and try it.
Okay. I'm taking that as an invitation.
Absolutely.
Favorite dinner spot?
Favorite dinner spot? We have really been enjoying Indian cuisine. I think we like going to Indushin, which is on the other side of King Street on the west side. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've never been there. Thank you for the recommendation. One shop or place in Old Town that inspires you?
Okay. As a retail store owner, you don't get into a lot of other shops that often because you're always in your own shop.
Sure. Minding your own store.
And your one's going to do. So I would say more it's the essence of Old Town, and maybe the waterfront is a really favorite spot. And it's especially inspirational on an early morning walk with the first light and everything. It's just so beautiful. And I just always pinch myself that we get to be here and not only work here, but live here and enjoy that.
I know. It's so inspiring, and it's +1 to that. I love walking.
You get to do the same thing, take your children out on walks in the parks.
And it just spiritually and mentally, it resets you. Like,
It
for me,
does.
like looking at the water, like doing that walk along the shore, it's just
It's a very
lovely.
quiet time, and it's pretty. And of course, we do have when the humidity sets in. But if you're out early enough, it's tolerable.
The month of August is a little tricky. Yeah. Okay, I said it was going to be a hot or cold lightning round, but here we are. What makes Old Town feel like home to you?
I have lived here since I was 7 years old, not necessarily just in Old Town, but in Alexandria. So when I graduated, but I was always coming to Alexandria. I would ride my bike into Old Town when almost everything that's here wasn't here. And when I graduated from the University of Maryland, I lived in Old Town for a couple of years before I got married. I lived and worked. I lived on South Fairfax and I worked on North Fairfax. And we always wanted to live in Old Town when we had our pack of kids, all 5 kids. And at the time, we couldn't find any place that could accommodate us that we could afford at the time.
Right.
So that was put on our wish list. And we've been living now in Old Town about 10 years, and we love it. We love the walkability of it. And yeah, that's why it's like home, because it, in essence, has been my home from a very young age, except for the 3 years that we lived in Germany after we got married. And so there's a little bit like the walkability here is what we also enjoy.
And it's very reminiscent of Europe, isn't it? Yes, I love that. I love it for that reason. I grew up in Brooklyn, and Chris and I met in London. So to me, this feels like home. And I hate driving also.
Yeah.
So being able to walk and get my steps in and look at the beautiful surroundings.
Store, walk to the grocery store and everything.
Right.
Yeah, the market, all of that.
All of that.
Nice.
Yeah, +1.
So it's just, it makes it very homey, very like, ooh. And a lot of people who visit, I'll hear them say if they come into the store and they're just here maybe for a wedding weekend or something, and they'll say, oh, I could see myself living here. So they're seeing it as home as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a stunning place. We're lucky to live here. So you're always so stylish, Amanda. And I'm always asking you, Amanda, where'd you get that jacket? Would love to get a few styling tips from you. What are your favorite designers? What are your go-to designers?
Oh boy, just as the word trends is like a nasty word to me. I don't really like trends. I don't like trends in style. I don't like trends in the home. I want people to like find their own way and be who they are. And look at this fabulous jacket you're wearing.
Thank you.
The color,
It's quite the color.
great. Now, would a lot of people wear that? Maybe not, but you're wearing it. And
I love color.
It makes you, and when you walk into a room, there's confidence. And so it's so great. It's who you are.
Yeah.
Not only on your body, but in your house.
Yes. And my next question was going to be a design rule you love breaking, but I think you just covered off on that too.
The biggest design rule all the way around in your life, personally and in your home, is do not follow trends. You can pluck things out of the trend that you like, but don't jump in whole hog. For a while there, everything was gray. Everyone was buying gray, painting everything gray. And I was just like, what is with the gray? Like,
Also, if you live in a cold climate, having gray around your house.
yeah. So so there was a trend. Everyone in the kitchen cabinets were gray. Everything was gray. Okay, you'd like that, but let's do one thing. Maybe let's paint an accent wall gray, and then let's put some colors with it that look great. There's ways to pluck into trends and pick some things out, but just little things. And you know why? Because then we look like everyone else. Or you walk into your house, you got great kitchen cabinets. You walk into mine, I got great kitchen cabinets. No, you don't want to look like everyone else. Maybe you do. And if you do, go for it. Do it if it makes you happy. But you're asking me, my personal opinion, and it is just have some fun and take what you like from it, clothes-wise and in your home.
Very cool. Yeah. Now the latest trend is like bluish kitchen cabinets. I do like that trend, but mine's all white.
The other thing, though, about that is, as far as kitchens and bathrooms are concerned, from a design perspective, they're not permanent, but they're a semi-permanent aspect of a kitchen. Or like in a bathroom, if you do a black toilet and a black tub or something, yes, can those be replaced? Absolutely, but they're semi-permanent. My sense is more, let's add blue in somehow, but let's not make the cabinets blue, because then you got blue cabinets. And
that's hard to get rid of.
The thought also is 5 years from now, you're not looking to redo your cabinets every 3 years, but 3 years from now, 5 years from now, are you going to go, what was I thinking putting blue cabinets in? Like, I'm so tired of looking at these daggone blue cabinets. So the things that are permanent, semi-permanent, let's be a little bit more neutral with them. And in a bathroom, your towels can be that blue. Someone had done in their bathroom, they had tiles put in the wall and they had their children's names on everything. I don't want to buy your house. Then I automatically have to take those tiles out.
Sure.
So
that's a lot of commitment for a house.
Yes, get towels with your kids' names on them. You can take the towels, but let's have the tiles be quiet. And so
that's definitely design. Don't.
Design just that. But again, if there are people who they want it and they do it, then do it. I might try to talk you back from it. I'll give you all the reasons why I think maybe you shouldn't do that. But ultimately, when all is said and done and we put all the elements together, if you're like, I know what you're saying and I hear what you're saying, Amanda, but I really want to do the cabinets, then I'm usually like, all right, good. Go for it.
Yeah.
But let's make sure we're doing the right shade blue. That would be the next thing I would say, that if you're going to do it, then let's pick a really good shade of blue to do. It's in design. It's also with working with the person. I want you to have what you want, but I also want you to consider other things before you make what is more of a major decision. Or like with the countertops, are they marble? Are they this? Are they that? What color do you want? And those are semi-permanent things that are going to be there for a while.
Sure.
But ultimately, it needs to be yours. It needs to be you. It has to be what you want.
Yes. And everyone has an individual style. And if they don't, they can hire you to make it fabulous.
We're ready. Always ready.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You always share great advice with me. And so thank you for sharing your wisdom with our listeners. You gave some great tips and some do's and don'ts and some great paint colors and more. But folks can always find you at Patina's, you and Kim. For more advice, they can always hit you up and also follow you on social media.
Patina at 111 South Columbus Street in Old Town. And I just want to say to you, congratulations on your podcast.
Thank you.
It is a brilliant idea and concept. And one thing that has come into my mind about it is this. I don't listen to loads of podcasts. I'm too busy at Patina, and with the grandkids. But when I have listened to podcasts, a lot of times you have the host and then they are talking to whoever their guest is. And I start to notice that the host is using the word I a lot, like I did this and I did that and everything else. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you have this person come on? So even the title of your podcast, the name, People You Meet in Old Town. Yeah. Okay. People You Meet in Old Town, already right off the bat, you have established that you are going to invite people to be on your podcast whom you have met in Old Town, and you are going to talk about them, what it is they do in Old Town, or why are they living in Old Town, or whatever it may be. And your focus is on your guest. And that is very unique. I think that's wonderful how you're doing it.
Thank you.
And it's for the people you meet in Old Town are the people who make the town.
Absolutely.
So you are hitting on something that is the reason we love being here in Old Town. It's not just, we have some great restaurants. We, of course, have fabulous retail stores.
Yeah.
And all the homes, all the history that's here and everything. But as we know in life, it's the people you meet along the way.
Yeah,
and
1,000%, yes.
You are hitting on that. So congratulations on such a brilliant idea. And I wish you all the best with it. And thank you so much for having me as a guest. It means the world to me.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And thank you for your support on coming on to have such a great chat.
Absolutely.
Thank you.